We're really lucky to have something that is sponsored by San Diego, the city of San Diego. It's an art center, and you jury in as an artist in whatever medium you want. I juried in about 5 years ago, thinking that it was time for me to get back into the art world after being away when I moved to Saudi Arabia with my husband. At that point, I didn't know what I was going to do because I've always dabbled in everything. And I decided, polymer clay, that used to be fun. I know I dabbled in that, and that I could do something with that. And that was about 5 or 6 years ago is when I started seriously. Went to the Niche Awards, won the award, so that was just really, really thrilling. But the best thing is that it piggybacked with the first Synergy conference. And at that point, I was really fairly new to the game. And so that's almost 4 years ago now. I'd only been doing polymer clay for 2 years. And I met artists. I met some of the names that I had heard of. And it was just such a, I loved that experience because, you know, rather than a hands-on, I loved the lectures. I loved just the camaraderie, the, you know, meeting, the interaction, meeting people, discussing things. So that was just really a really nice year, and I took off from there. Like I said, there's no turning back. Polymer clay seems... My parents didn't realize when they took me in like 5 or 6 or even 7 years old to take my first eye exam. They get to the big E, and I couldn't see the big E. And my mom just says, "Oh my God, she's blind." But I do think that maybe that's why I respond to shapes and color, because that's what I saw as a young, you know, that's how I saw the world. I doubt, but I've always had just a graphic sensibility, and my sensibility is probably less is more. I don't like intricate detail. That doesn't do anything for me. I spend hours mixing colors, and so I have a whole array of colors in front of me, and then I'm in my element. Then I can just, once I'm there and I have them in front of me, then I can just pick and choose and see, ooh, that goes with that, and that goes with that. And sometimes I get inspiration from something else. But usually it's just seeing and playing. And so that way I'm happiest. And I feel like I'm always refreshing, you know, refreshing my attitude. I mean, I still have fun. I still get excited like a child when colorways just go, ooh, it is like Christmas morning. So, and after I have my color palette in front of me, later I have my color palette of mica shift and my color palette of the small little canes. But I don't want to be stuck with one. I have a huge variety in front of me of little teeny ones that, because I use really thin sheets, I take a very thin slice of my cane and apply it to a base sheet of brown. And then so that's my next step. Then I have a whole array of patterned sheets in front of me that I can play with and say, oh, that'll look great with that mica shift. That would look great with that. And so that's how I just keep it new and fresh, and it's just what I like. I have no interest in making a lot of the same. You know, basically all the pieces I do are one of a kind, but not labored. They aren't labored at all. They're fun. I mean, I've always had an innate color sensibility. I've had teachers in college say, go ask Meisha if you want to know about color. But I did take a color class, a color theory class, because I thought it was right up my alley. And I thrived in that class. I loved that class. But it wasn't until I took that class that I realized how much people struggle with color. They really do. And it wasn't just the theory they were struggling. They really couldn't see it. When I did ceramics, so I knew about form, shape, you know, and that I was always thrilled with. And then they'd just sit on the side because I didn't want to glaze them, because you were way too limited. I also did blown glass. That's fairly limited too. But, you know, I did what I could. You can mix colors and do some of that. But when I settled on polymer clay, and I started working with Primo, so it has like the best color palette in the world. It's, you know, based on paint palette. So I've always mixed colors. I've never used anything out of the package. And you can heighten the color, You can bring the color down, tone, you know, you don't have to. It's amazing. You've got an amazing palette there, and it's limitless. And that's what I always say about polymer clay. It's limitless. So I feel like I'll do it forever. I don't feel, it satisfies all my creative urges. It will be my medium forever. That's a good end.